Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my Apple Podcast. My name is Tim Brown, your host. This is part 2 of my series on Keynote. The last episode, I focused on all of the menu options that are located along the top. That is, the icons that are shown along the top. I explained all the different features associated with that. And now I want to go into a little bit more of the meaty part of it, and that is adding content to your presentation. Today, I'm going to cover how to add text, images, and video, and how to format them so they fit right in with your presentation. So let's begin. Okay, one thing I did not cover during the last tutorial or podcast episode were the icons that you find on the top right of the menu bar, and that is the inspector, media, colors, fonts, and format bar. And what you're looking at here is the format bar. Basically, when you click on this, it will give you all these options for controlling and editing your colors, your fonts, and so forth. And this is where all those features are located along the top. If you choose to select format bar, it will either make it appear or disappear, depending on whether or not you want it there. Okay, let's begin with adding text to our presentation. To begin with, I'm going to start with this one slide here, and as you can see, it's too large right now, so I'm going to change it to fit the screen, and you can make these adjustments at the bottom left here. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reformat this text. In order to do that, you have to, first of all, select the text, and then you go up to font, which is at the top right, and that's where you have your menu where you can change the font as well as the size. You can make it bold or italic. Basically, this is where you make all your adjustments in terms of fonts. You can also select this little color swatch icon, and you'll get a menu for the different colors that you can choose. Very convenient. There's even a slider at the bottom where you can control how opaque you want it to be or how transparent you want it to be. So let's click out of there. Now let's go up to the inspector window because I want to add some shadow to the text so that it stands out a little better. So you scroll down and you just simply select shadow. And now you can see there's a slight shadow around the text. It gives it a little bit more clarity, and you can make adjustments with the settings there where you can enhance the offset, decrease the blur, increase the opacity or decrease it. Whatever you prefer until you get it just the way you want it. You have all the settings there that you need. Very cool. Okay, let's go ahead and add some images to our presentation. And here you're looking at the image that comes with the template. And when you select it, you see there's a slider along the bottom. You can slide that to increase the size of it. And you notice that it will still stay contained within the mask. Now I'm going to bring up the media tab. And the media tab basically allows you to access your iPhoto library. And you want to store your photos and your videos in the iPhoto library if you want to access them through the media tab. So in this case, I just dropped the photo out of iPhoto onto the template here, and you notice it doesn't fit, it's masked. But if you double click on it and then grab the edge and sort of expand it out, you can get it to match the actual width of the photo. And then when you click outside it, it now becomes part of the mask. So that's a little trick. Again, double click on the image and then search for the contours of the mask and then stretch it out to meet the image. And that's how you get around the problems or the limitations of the mask. Your image isn't confined to the mask. You can make adjustments when you need to. So I'm going to open up the inspector, and now we're going to see what kind of cool things we can do with our image. So right now the picture frame is selected. You click on the options, you see you have all these different options of frames that you can use to change the look of your image. There are about 12 or 15 different options here. So you can just play around which one you like. You can also just choose a line. You can change the color of the line, or you can change the width of the line, as I'm doing here. So it almost kind of functions as a frame. And then you can change the color, or you can use the spyglass tool and hold it over the area that you want the color to be. And this is particularly helpful if you want the frame to match the background color. You then can add a shadow to your image, just like with text. You can control the angle, how much of an offset you want. Here's the angle tool adjustment. You can control the blur and how opaque you want it. And you just keep playing around with the settings until you get it just the way you want it. And you're not limited to getting images from the media browser. You can actually pull up a Finder window, go to your picture folder, and just grab an image from there. And you can just simply take it and just drag it right onto the stage. That's simple. And just like the other photo, you can just go into Inspector and make all the adjustments that you need. Okay, adding video. One of my favorite parts. Okay, well, first, you want to add QuickTime movies. First of all, Windows Media video files will not play. Likewise with PowerPoint, PowerPoint doesn't play QuickTime movies, but it will play Windows Media video files. So that's just something to keep in mind. But QuickTime is pretty universal for the most part. And once you have your QuickTime movies formatted and already set up, you can now bring them into your presentation. And here I'm using the media browser again. So I'm accessing videos that are in my iPhoto library. Again, you can drag them from a Finder window if you prefer. You're not limited to the media browser. And basically, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to treat this video as if it was a photo. Because essentially, there really is no difference except the video actually plays a video as opposed to a still image. So I'm going to go into the same settings, and I'm going to go and add a frame to my movie in the same way I did the photo a short while ago. I'm going to find something real funky, something very creative, just to show you just what you can do. Here, this is a perfect example. Here's something very creative, a regular frame around my movie. And I'm even going to add a shadow. And I'm going to increase the offset. I'm going to increase the blur. Now this is a very unique way to present a video. You know what, I think maybe too, I'll go ahead and add a reflection at the bottom too. Make it even, this is something that will really wow people during a presentation. They'll be amazed that you're even able to do this. So there's my little reflection there. Now on the far right of the inspector, you'll have all your controls for your movies. So you can choose to click to start the movie, or you can deselect this and the movie will play automatically when the slide is launched full screen. And you can choose to loop it or not loop it, etc. And that's working with video. And there are some things that I was unable to cover during the first episode regarding a lot of the menu options, and that's what you see along the very top where you have file, edit, and so forth. And the reason why I did not cover those is that for the most part they're redundant. Everything that I covered during the first episode you can pretty much find on a whole host of these drop down menus. The first one here you're looking at is the arrange options, and you can actually right click on any image to get these options as well. View is almost identical to the view icon that I discussed during the first episode. One thing I did not cover, share. And under share, you'll see there's a drop down menu. You can share to iWork and so forth. I think the most significant here is send via mail. And you can choose what format you want to send it. By mail, you can send it as a Keynote or as a PowerPoint presentation, or you can send it as a PDF. And also under share, you can send to different applications like iDVD, iPhoto, iTunes, iWeb, GarageBand, and even YouTube. Now, I will probably use YouTube more often than the others, mainly because one, iWeb has been discontinued, although there's still support for iWeb. And I believe that iDVD will also be discontinued as well. And there's an export feature, which I will cover in a little bit. Another feature that I did not cover yet, and that is, believe it or not, Keynote has a screen recording feature. So if you want to record your presentation as you're giving it, Keynote offers that feature as well. And basically you can go up to File or Play. Play is another place where you can find this feature. But go to File, record Slideshow, and your presentation is launched full screen. You can see the record button on the top left, and it's now reading my voice. And when you're done giving your introduction, you can then, you escape when you're done, and then you'll then have the option to clear recording, or if you decide to keep it, Keynote will remember the audio file, will now recognize that there's an audio file associated with this. So you then go to File, Export, and you can save the file that way. Okay, I just made a screen recording a few minutes ago during a trial period just to see how it worked. So I'm going to go ahead and retrieve that file, and I'm going to play it back for you so you can see what it sounds like. So once you click Record Slideshow, you'll see that the program is actually recording my voice. And as you give your presentation, it'll begin recording it as you speak. So I can just say, my name is Tim Brown. Welcome to my Apple Podcast. For this episode, I'm going to be addressing Keynote as a presentation tool. Well, okay, that does it for this episode. I'm going to follow up with one more episode to kind of polish these tutorials off. I'm going to cover how to use transitions to really add some pizzazz to your Keynote presentation. Until then, I'll see you next time.